Empowering players to create dynamic gameplay. If players could code the game's rules as they played, it would empower them to shape their own experiences. This level of interaction would transform gaming from a passive activity to a highly creative one. Players could adjust mechanics, challenges, or even entire game worlds in real time, offering a dynamic experience that evolves based on their choices, making each playthrough unique. Opening new avenues for game design. Allowing players to code the game's rules would open up new avenues for game design. Game developers could focus on creating flexible platforms that offer tools and templates for players to experiment with. This would lead to more user-generated content, with players not just experiencing games but actively participating in their development, fostering a community-driven evolution of game design. Changing the concept of victory in games. With the ability to code the rules, the traditional concept of winning could drastically shift. Players could redefine victory by altering the game's conditions and objectives. This freedom would make each player's experience highly personal, as they would set the terms of success, whether it's overcoming self-imposed challenges or creating new ways to interact with the game's world. Gamifying the learning process of coding. Incorporating coding into gameplay could serve as an interactive learning tool for aspiring programmers. By modifying a game's rules, players would practice coding in a fun and immersive way. This could act as an entry point into programming, with players learning through trial and error as they manipulate the game world, which could lead to more interest in software development. Encouraging collaborative innovation among players. Players coding the game's rules could lead to new forms of collaboration. In multiplayer settings, players could work together to tweak the game environment, making each game session a collective effort to design and test new mechanics. This collaboration could spark innovative ideas and creative solutions, fostering community building and teamwork in ways not typically seen in traditional games. Redefining game balance and fairness. One challenge of allowing players to code the game's rules is ensuring balance and fairness. If players could alter mechanics at will, it might lead to unfair advantages or broken systems, especially in competitive multiplayer games. Developers would need to implement safeguards to maintain the integrity of the game while still allowing for creativity, potentially limiting rule changes to certain parameters or environments. Infinite replayability with customizable rules. With the power to modify the rules, players could enjoy infinite replayability. Instead of replaying the same game over and over, each session could offer new challenges or experiences based on the player's choices. The game's narrative, difficulty, and objectives could be reprogrammed on the fly, ensuring that players never experience the same game twice, vastly increasing the longevity of the game. Revolutionizing user-generated content and mods. Games could see a revolution in user-generated content, UGC, if players could code the rules themselves. Beyond modding existing games, players could create entirely new experiences, from entirely new genres to hybrid gameplay styles. This would reduce the barrier to entry for creating games and allow even non-developers to contribute their own visions to the gaming landscape. Creating unique narratives and worlds. Allowing players to code the game's rules could lead to incredibly diverse and personalized narratives. Players could not only change the mechanics but also the story, dialogue, and even the world building. This level of control would lead to a broader range of stories told within a single game, making the narrative more interactive and flexible, adapting to the player's actions and decisions. Ethical and technical considerations of rule coding. While coding the game's rules sounds exciting, it raises technical and ethical questions. How would developers ensure that modifications don't exploit the system or negatively affect others? What safeguards would be necessary to prevent harmful or discriminatory code changes? Developers would need to create robust moderation systems and guidelines to ensure fair play and the integrity of the gaming experience while still offering creative freedom.